A big house stands firm and strong for a very long time because of the quality of its foundations. Foundations are essential. They are the things that we build everything on top. Now, strong walls and roofing are also super important. However, if we don't have foundations, sooner or later the house will crumble anyway. Here's the thing about foundations. They are so critical for everything we build in our lives, and yet they're kind of invisible. We do not easily see foundations. They're kind of hidden despite being super real and supportive. What we actually get to see are the things that we build on top of the foundations. And here's another thing about us humans. We pay a lot of attention to what we get to see and not so much to what is hidden. And so the consequence of that is that we pay a lot of attention to the walls and to the decorations, and sometimes we end up neglecting the crucial foundations that are actually making sure things can exist and grow in our lives. Foundations are critical for us to create the lives we want to live, for us to have the structure, the support, the strength, the cohesion to create our lives, our dreams, our support system. This is what will hold it all together. But again, they're kind of invisible and so very easy for us to, unfortunately, neglect them. The insight here is your well-being, your joy, your peace of mind, your growth come from and are affected by the quality of the life you live, the quality of your foundations. Your foundations is what supports you in your everyday life. A house without good quality foundations crumbles, and a life without quality foundations also is extremely vulnerable and crumbles. Now, another big part of this understanding of solid foundations is understanding the role of these foundations. What solid foundations do is that they sustain the house. They sustain our life. And I invite you to pay close attention to this word, to actually take this word in. Sustain, sustenance. It is not something we do once or twice. It's ongoing. That is what is sustenance. It is there, providing this base, this foundation over and over again, which means that it is about us caring about our foundations, taking care of them on ongoing basis. If you think your foundation is, say, sports, it doesn't do it if it only happens once a week, because that is not sustaining something. That is sporadic. Sustenance requires a little bit more commitment from us. It requires work in our lives, work on taking care of sustaining, of keeping that energy ongoing. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are allergic to the word work. Here I am telling you, asking you your solid foundations, and then telling you to work on it, like as if there was not enough work in life anymore. I don't know, it can be a lot going on at times. What we need to understand is that the solid foundations of our lives support us to grow and do things better and even more if they are solid. Sometimes we have too much work in our lives exactly because we're lacking the foundations. And without foundations, everything is way too shaky. Another side of this is that this kind of work, the work of developing our solid foundations, the work of sustaining, the work of establishing and taking care of it, it's not any work. Actually, the word I prefer using here is devotion. It is a work of devotion to ourselves, to sustaining our well being, to sustaining our joy, to sustaining our peace of mind, to understanding what matters to us and devoting ourselves, our time and energy to it out of devotion, out of love to ourselves. Developing solid foundations for your life, for your healing, for your growth is about devotion to yourself. So here I am asking you, what are the pillars of your life? What are your foundations? Health can be a foundation. It is so easy to neglect health when we feel fine, but then we get sick and realize how crucial it is to feel healthy and strong for our well-being. And there's so many different sides to health. There is eating well, exercising, mental health, sleeping well, and it goes on and on. Another possible foundation is connection. Self-connection, connection with yourself, time with yourself, connection with nature, connection with your loved ones, connection to spirit. There's so many different layers to connection. When we feel disconnected, we feel separated, we feel alone, and it is much easier to get sad and depressed. And connection brings us into union, which can do wonders for our well-being. Another example of foundation can be expression. If you like writing or singing, playing instruments, dancing, whatever way you have to express yourself, whatever is it that you enjoy doing, that is a creative output of your soul, could also be a solid foundation, a pillar of your life. Or maybe another pillar of your life is the simple act of not having more than 5 things in your schedule every single day, because you know that more than that creates stress and dispersion in your energy, and it is much healthier for you to keep it less but better, to be able to focus on what actually matters to you. Now, these are only examples. No one can tell you what your pillars, your foundations are for you. Your life is yours, and it is part of your growth to realize what are your foundations, what is it that you need to take care of for your well-being, for your peace, for your growth, and support yourself with that. So here are just a few examples to touch upon different layers of possible foundations, be it on a physical level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, on a business level. It is up to you. Now, see here that I brought 4 examples, and I brought this number on purpose because we want to be able to sustain these foundations. And if we have 10 different foundations, then our life is going to be only about foundations, and that can also be quite tricky. So I bring here for you today this exercise. I invite you to take some time with yourself and sit with yourself asking, what are the pillars of my life? What do I need? What are my foundations? And make it simple, make it real, make it something that you can sustain day after day, that you can prioritize without getting stressed, and understanding the importance of these things for your life, for the life you're building, for the life that you want. See, what is it that from this place of joy, this place of well-being, what is a strong house for you, your strong being within yourself? What do you need to have in place so that later you can add on things, but always keeping that foundation taken care? So this is the exercise I invite you to do, to take your time with yourself. And after that, after having your own answers, well, then there's nothing to do but to actually do it, to live in alignment with your own answers. There's no more than that. reflecting and coming back to ourselves, realizing our needs and committing to ourselves from this place of devotion. What are your pillars? What are the foundations of your life for your well-being, for your peace of mind, for your joy, for your growth? In my life and my work as a spiritual guide, I have set 4 pillars, 4 foundations for spiritual growth and soul-fulfillment. Now, if you want to learn more about my own pillars, there's another video for that. You can find the link in the video description. But here what I want to bring is this number 4. It is an easy to handle number. I don't want to get overwhelmed with foundation. So again, keeping it simple, keeping it real, keeping it something that we can actually sustain with clarity, with alignment, with devotion, and with joy in our everyday lives as we understand how important they are, but also don't make them into our whole lives, so that we can use them as a foundation to build things on top of it. So remember our insight here. Your well-being, your joy, your peace of mind, your growth come from and are affected by the quality of the life you live, the quality of your foundations. And your foundations sustain your life. They might look invisible, but they are very real, and they're what is sustaining. So what are the pillars of your life? What is it that is important for you to sustain so that you can live well and keep growing? This is the exercise that I invite you to take time with yourself, to define your foundations, to keep them real and simple, and then to act on them, because that is the real work, the work of walking the talk, of living our values and principles out of first and foremost devotion to ourselves, of wanting what is best for us, for taking care of us. So my question final here for you is, will you cater to yourself? Will you take care of your needs and sustain the life you want to live? If you would like to learn more about spiritual growth, get your free guide, What is Spiritual Growth? You will find the link here in this video description. And remember to subscribe on clicking on the button below the video to get my upcoming videos on growth and fulfillment. I thank you for sharing with me your time and energy, and I see you on the next video.